network marketing, and really has moved quickly. And really leveraged social media, Facebook Live, and built that tribe, that audience. And fast forward to today, he didn't know anything about marketing, didn't know anything about business, didn't go to school for sales and marketing, nothing. He came in here, he learned what he needed to do.
I did go to school for marketing
every day, increasing his skill sets
so
that he can turn around and add more value to his audience, which is what he's consistently doing each and every week. And now today, full-time from home, he's one of our certified coaches. He's one of our L5 leaders. He's got multiple income streams going, and he's full-time with his family, young family at home. And that business that we swing around and talk about, everyone's promise when you first get started, he's got it. So if you're wondering, could it work? Could I really do it? Let's bring him out. Mr. Ryan Cody McMorris, welcome to the call, man.
What's up, man? How are you today, buddy?
Didn't get much sleep. Last night we were on fire with this summit, and yeah, man, it's been fun, and we're gonna really do something special this holiday season. We're really excited over here. How are you doing?
Dude,
you're in San Diego right now?
I am in San Diego right now. Are you jealous?
Yeah, I am, man. When you told me, I didn't know if that was a quick, one day, and then you're out, or if you're spending some time there. But definitely jealous. Is it like 90, 70, 80, 90 degrees?
Oh, man, yeah, it's like 70 right now, and it's only like 8 in the morning, so.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude. Well, enjoy it. I'm sitting here in Austin, and it just got cold like yesterday. Definitely jealous. Enjoy, brother. Call is yours. Good to hear your voice.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. Yo, guys, give a huge shout out to Brian and Norbert, because they put something together with this attraction marketing summit it's literally just like, it's unbelievable. I can't even believe what they did in such a short amount of time with such a tremendous just group of people. So definitely send them love, send them gratitude, and just because when Brian says he does not get sleep, I'm sure he literally probably didn't sleep at all, because they're launching something extremely big right now. So definitely check it out. That attraction marketing summit is probably the hottest thing on the internet right now, so definitely got to check it out. I wanted to we are in San Diego. We're at an event right now, and this is an event that's kind of geared towards coaches, and I wanted to kind of share some of my insights that have kind of been on my mind already, but listening to some of the people at this event and listening to some of the things that were going on at this event really just sparked this call. So I'm really glad actually that we were able to switch the call from Tuesday to today, because I think it's going to be a really powerful call today. So make sure you go to the podcast, save the podcast so you can listen to the replay, because I do think you're going to get some value out of today. And just so I do stay on track, I do have notes. I usually kind of fly off the cuff with these calls, but I do got some notes. So let's see. Let's make sure everybody's good. All right. So I named this call the things that you want you. Okay. And when I heard that, it made me really think about something in a little deeper way. So I want to kind of explain this, because I want you to kind of sit around this sentence. The things that you want you. And when I started thinking about that, something really powerful just started to kind of go through my veins and really just start working. And so I wanted to kind of explain this. And in my mind, there's always a difference of people that are successful and the people that aren't successful, right? And we always are just kind of wondering, what's the difference? What's this gap between people that aren't successful, and what's the gap between the people that are successful? And in my mind, there's this pain, there's this window pane. And we're on one side of the window pane, and on the other side of that window pane is everything that we want. It's everything that all the powers to be that are there working for you. That's what's on the other side of that window pane. All right. And everything on the other side is trying to get to you. Okay. But we can't hear anything on that other side. We can't see anything on the other side. It's like it's like the police glass. You can't see through it. Okay. So I think one of the first things of really understanding how success works is knowing that, I've got to start working on breaking that glass. I've got to start working on breaking the glass so I can actually get to the things that are trying to get to me, but they just can't. And a lot of us, we're just trying to we're trying to do so much instead of becoming so much that all the do is clouding us going towards breaking this glass. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. Okay, because again, I want to explain kind of what's going on in my head, because that sentence really just makes me think. It really just, takes me to a place where I'm like, man, like if you can understand that there's things that are working, that want to work for you. There's things that they want you to be successful. The higher power, the things that are all around us, maybe that you can't see, that you can possibly feel, everything around you, they want you to be successful. So we have to do a few things to help to make success find us. We're out there, especially, we're talking about attraction marketing, and getting to a place where we're attracting the right people to us. We're doing the things that can bring customers and reps our way instead of us being the hunter. And, there's attraction lifing too. Like there's living a more attractive life that can attract all the things that we want as well. So if you believe that, I think you can get a lot of value out of this call. Okay, so just understand there are things working for your good, and even really the things that are working for your bad. If you there's also bad things out there too. With all the good comes bad, right? But I want you to understand too that all the things that seem to be bad that may be going on or happening inside of your life, all the bad things, all the bad enemies, spirits, whatever you want to call them, they don't know everything. They don't know that at the end of the day, they're still pushing you towards success. So if there's something going on in your life right now, in your business right now, that just seems like, man, like why is this going on? I don't know why this is going on. At the end of the day, it's pushing you towards more success. So if you don't know me, you don't know my story, I am going to kind of dive in just a little bit of my story, because I do feel like I have to kind of set the stage, not to brag or anything, but just to set the stage, so you listen up. I want this to sink in, and if I don't do this, and if it doesn't sink in, then I failed you, and I don't want that. So a lot of times, when you've had any amount of success in a short amount of time, people will always feel like, you're probably just a natural at that, or, that probably just comes extremely easy to you. And I want you to understand that the things that I'm good at right now, I really wasn't good at before. It may have been in there, the seed may have been in there to really start watering, and yes, there is a such thing as like natural talent and all these things. But Brian, the first thing that I want to really talk about is passion. That's the number one thing that will create success finding you, and it's your ability to find your passion. So 4 years ago, when I got into network marketing 4 years ago, at January this year will be the end of 4 years, so I'll be going into my 5th year in the industry. And I had no idea what network marketing was. I was horrible on the phone. I literally did not really like talking to people at all. I was fortunate enough to get a sales job after breaking my hand playing baseball one season. I was fortunate enough to get a business-to-business sales job, kind of like going door to door, and it was probably one of the most amazing jobs. Even though I hated it, it was the most amazing job that I could ever have. Okay, and so the number two thing, all right, so I'm going to kind of go back a little bit. The number two thing is failure. And even though I thought I was like failing at life when I was working that job, because I was like, man, what this job is just not getting me where I want to go. I was making decent money, but there was just this unfulfillment thing. You know what I mean? It was just I just wasn't fulfilled working this job, and it just really just kept pushing me back to go back and give baseball another try every season. So it was kind of working one thing. It was kind of pushing me towards my passion of baseball, but it was also fueling this failure that I needed. And honestly, a lot of the success that we've had, I've recruited over 700 people. We've built teams in the tens of thousands. We've become one of the top recruiters inside of the #1 attraction marketing system on the planet. And those things weren't happening 4 years ago, and I would have never thought they could have happened, because when I came into My Elite System Pro, I remember my sponsor telling me, one day, hey man, you could have your own courses, and you could be doing wake up calls and doing things like that. And I never thought it was possible, because I thought, who would listen to me, who was going to want to buy something from me. And you can go back and find a lot of my old videos. I mean, the confidence isn't there. The smoothness isn't there. The skill set isn't there. And so what we have to commit to is we really have to commit to our passion first, because once we find out what our passion is and we can actually commit to that passion, and you may be on here right now, and you're like, man, I don't know what my passion is. And a lot of us, we're just substituting not knowing what our passion is and saying, well, I can be passionate about this network marketing company or about this product, and just go ram it down people's throat. And that's not passion. A lot of us aren't passionate about a network marketing company, or just a particular protein shake. A lot of us aren't passionate about that, right? But we're out taking selfies and pictures with stuff because we want people to buy it from us. And that's not how you find your passion. How you find your passion is you find out what you want to stand for. You find out what you want to fight on this earth. You find out what the higher power wants and wants out of its people. You find out, like, what is my job on this planet? What am I here to do? And everything involves people. The cool thing about being on Earth, and the cool thing about being in network marketing or online marketing, is that everything involves people, right? And I'm kind of going off my notes here, but oh well, right? Everything involves people. And so if we understand that, and we understand that success, it really involves people, and our passion involves helping people. So you have to find out what's your special way. What's the thing that makes you, it gets you so fired up. It's the one thing that, people are maybe even afraid to stand up for. Some people are afraid to stand up for single moms. Some people are afraid. Yesterday saw a lady that was, she wanted to stand up for gunshot victims. She wanted to stand up for people that have been, in an armed robbery or been shot or survived a shooting or been in a traumatic experience. She wants to stand up for those people. And, I think it was like 300 people a day get shot or in some type of shooting, right? And if you take 300 people a day and, multiply it by how many ever days, back you want to go, all those people are probably afraid to stand up for something. And then there's one person that kind of rises up, right? There's one person that rises up out of the ashes and will stand up for this. And then she can pursue that passion. She can pursue that, and that breaks the glass. That's what breaks the glass of the things that are meant for her, the things that success, if you want success to find you, that's the first thing that happens, is you got to find the thing that really makes you angry. Like, it makes her angry that there's people out there getting shot, and then they have they're stuck in their trauma. They can't get out of it. They're just it's being sucked down in this quicksand of that traumatic experience, and then that's their life now. You've got to find the thing that literally makes you, it pisses you off, it makes you so upset, and then you could build a network around that, and you could probably build any network marketing company that you wanted, and build any coaching business that you wanted, build any affiliate business that you want, whatever, right? But a lot of us, we're not thinking, because we're afraid to think, we're afraid to fail, which is number 2, right? So, the first thing that you've got to do is understand that, the biggest thing that's keeping you from breaking that glass and allowing just a flood of success. Understand that on the other side of that glass, it's not just a few things. It's not just like, your guardian angel just saying, hey, here's a gift card of like to Best Buy, and this is your success. No, there are a flood of things on the other side, and you've got to be prepared to swim inside of that success. You've got to be prepared to swim inside of that abundance, because once you break that glass, many of you probably seen a movie where the glass breaks and literally all the water just rushes in, right? Like, that's what is on the other side of that glass. And if you aren't ready for success, if you aren't prepared for success, that glass won't break, because, we're not here to drown. Okay? We're here to literally swim inside of all the abundance that is on the other side of that glass. So understand, you are the biggest thing that's keeping you from it. Success is inevitable, but if you're not willing to do the work for it, if you're not willing to work on yourself for it, that glass won't break. And so we have to start looking at failure a different way. We have to start looking at failure in a way that says, each time I fail, it's like learning. Each time I go out and do something and fall flat on my face or get my arm scraped up, that is a learning experience. And until we look at failure as a learning experience, if we look at failure as a thing that's like not leading us in the right direction, okay, then hey, you're going to continue to just search and search and search and go in the opposite direction of that glass, because I'm telling you, your guardian angels, the things that want you to just get involved in all the success for you, they're screaming, they're yelling, they're trying to get to you, but you can't hear it. And part of being able to hear it just a little bit more, okay, is having a different relationship with failure. Okay, so again, the path to success is not going to be a straight line. A to B is never a straight line to success. Okay, but you got to understand that you're going to make mistakes. Okay, you're going to make mistakes, and every mistake you make, it's expanding your capacity. It's expanding your capacity. I'm holding a bottle of water right now, and it's it's 50 ounces bottle of water. So each time that if we want to be able to hold more, we have to expand our capacity. We have to be able to be flexible. This bottle of water is not flexible. It can only hold 50 ounces of water. That's all it can hold. So if we have to start becoming the people that can stretch, that we can become more. Okay, and being willing to fail is part of that. Being willing to fail, understanding that. The process of change is a 4-part process, and you may want to write this down. It's time, energy, frustration, and change. And if we don't understand that there's a process, there's a formula for change. It's time, energy, frustration, and change. And a lot of us have gotten to that point where we're frustrated. A lot of us have gotten to that point where we're just frustrated, and then guess what? Frustration leads to throwing in the towel. And some of us that have found success and keep finding success, and then finally success starts to find us, we understand that frustration is just part of it. And I'm knocking on the door, and I'm starting to break that glass to allow success to find me. So you have to ask yourself today, are you willing to fail? Are you willing to actually learn, or do you want to keep learning the traditional way? Right? Our school system, screwed up school system in America. I don't know where you're listening to this call from, but in America, our school system's messed up. Why? Because we don't teach people to learn through failing. We teach people to learn through memorization. And that's not how you learn. You learn through failing. You learn through dropping the ball. You learn through making mistakes. And it's odd that as we grow up from babies, that's how we learn. We learn to walk from making a mistake. We fall. So the more willing you are to suffer, okay, that's going to create a deeper break in that glass. The less willing you are to suffer, you're like patching the glass up. Every time the glass breaks a little bit, you're like welding it in. It's like calling Safeco and putting a little filler in that glass. Okay, so again, if you've got to be willing to go through the suffering. And then it moves to number 3. Number 3 is gratitude. So when we get in gratitude of everything, that's where the glass is really going to start to break a little more, and success is going to start to find you. So, a lot of us, we're going through these feelings of unworthiness or powerless or fear or anxiety or loneliness. And these are things that are just sucking us right back into pushing us the opposite direction of where this glass is, the opposite direction of where our spirit guides and our higher power is looking to actually create success in our life. So understanding that what you have, right now, you're rich. You You have everything that you need. And we have to get to this place where understanding that if I can get in gratitude for everything that I have now, for however little or however big it is, that is preparing me for the bigger thing. You know, a lot of us, you know, we may not have a lot of money, right? But if you did have a lot of money, they know that you probably wouldn't do the right thing with the money. So until you become the person that is in just utter gratitude for the little amount of money that you have, the little amount of time that you have, the little resources that you have, you won't be given more resources. So I want you to understand that you're rich right now. You know, the richest person in the world is the person with the most gratitude. Rich is measured by appreciation, not by numbers. Okay, so you know, yesterday there was a guy Todd, and you know he's like, you know, he said he had psychic powers, which is pretty cool, I think, right? You know, cool stuff to be a psychic. But he's afraid to charge people for his skill sets, and you know this. You know, I heard something. You're one shift away from being a millionaire. You're one belief away from you know, being rich. You're one belief away from changing your life, and you have to get in the mirror and start looking for that one belief. What's that one belief that you just keep holding on to? Because he believes that he shouldn't charge people for a personal breakthrough. He believes he shouldn't charge people for healing, right? And again, you know, I know preachers that are like that. They believe that they shouldn't, you know, charge anything for healing, right? You know, it's you don't do yourself any good by being broke. You know, science of getting rich. You don't do yourself any good by being broke. You don't do anybody else any good by being broke. You're not serving anybody being poor. Right? You're not serving being anybody, even if you have a lot of money and you're working a job that you don't like, just like our buddy Todd yesterday. Like it's killing you inside. Again, not serving anybody, not feeling fulfilled. You being happy, you being just extremely just pumped up and overflowing with gratitude. I mean, just imagine. You know, let's take Hitler for instance. You know, this guy had some anger inside, right? I mean, just imagine if everybody outside was just walking around just with just gratitude and just happy to fail, and they're doing their passion, right? And they have all the love in their heart. He could have just walked outside and ran into somebody for the day and been like, you know what? I am going to go to art school because, you know, I just deserve it. You know what? I'm Adolf Hitler and I deserve to be the world's greatest artist. Or he could have ran into somebody outside that has no gratitude, has no love. They look at failure in a different way, and they don't know how to find their passion. And then he said, you know what? Let's destroy this earth, right? I mean, that's how dramatic it can be when we aren't going, when we're not doing these things, we're not going this route, okay? So the last thing, so we've gone over gratitude, we've gone over failure, we've gone over finding your passion. And again, if you really want to find your passion, again, write it down. Write down what do you hate? You know, what makes you angry? Hate's a strong word. What makes you angry? What gets you fired up? You know, what pisses you off? What problem out there do you want to solve and put the cape on? Who do you want to be Superman for? And the last thing is love. And this is probably one of the biggest things that I'm getting from the event that we're at is, you know, all of us, we have these emotions that come up inside of our body, and we have these emotions some of these emotions are keeping us from that glass just shattering completely and a flood of success coming our way. And the first thing we have to love is we got to love ourselves. And, you know, a lot of us, we have a tough time saying, I love myself. You know, we're always judging ourselves. We're always, saying bad. We're quick to say bad things about ourselves, but in public, we wouldn't tell anybody that about anybody else, right? I'm quick to call myself fat, but I wouldn't go up to anybody else on the street and say, hey, what's up, fatty, right? But when I look in the mirror, it's real easy to call myself a fatty. It's real easy to say I'm not worthy. It's real easy to talk to myself in a way that I wouldn't talk to anybody else. So again, you've got to start loving yourself first. You got to start loving everything, and that's going to give you peace. That's what, that's what's really going to get you to a place where you can find joy and happiness in your life. Is you got to start loving yourself first. And then you got to start once you find your audience and you find who you really want to stand up for, you got to go out and love them too. Because a lot of us, we want the audience, we want the fame, we want the stuff, right? And we want everybody to celebrate us, but we haven't gone out and loved ourselves first, and we haven't shown that we love them first. A lot of us, we want to get paid, and then we want to say, you know what, okay, cool, after they give me some money, then I'll love my audience. No, go love your audience. Love your audience by going through this Attraction Marketing Summit. And actually taking the time to go through it and share it with them, or go through some of the stuff in the back office in My Elite System Pro and share it with them. Share your experiences, share your failures. That's loving your audience. Loving your audience is taking them on a journey, and loving your audience is showing them that it can be done and that you stand up for them. There's so many ways that you can love your audience first. The reason that we love our parents, some of you may be like, I don't love my parents. My parents, they fed me paint chips, okay? You still love them. At the end of the day, we still love our parents no matter what they've done, didn't do. And the reason that we love our parents is because they loved us first. And the reason that your audience will love you is because you got to go out and love them first. And understanding that you don't need anybody else's love. The only love you need is a love from yourself. So once we do these things, once we can find a way to love the emotions, if you're afraid of doing videos and it just makes you anxious, it gets you all hot and sweaty, and then a lot of times the first thing we do is we get to run away from that emotion. Sit with it, love it for a little bit, love that emotion for a second, and just continue to love it until you absolutely find peace with it. And what happens when you do this, when you can put all this together, and when you can find a way to love everything, the people that have pissed you off, love them. The people that frustrate you, love them. The emotions that scare you, that freak you out, love them. Find gratitude in those things. Find joy in the failure, that each failure you make is paving the road for success for you. And chase your passion every single day. And what happens is, this is the cool thing. This is the cool thing that happens when you do this. And I'm done. But that glass starts to break a little bit. It starts to crack a little bit. And all of a sudden, you can hear things. All of a sudden, you can hear something a little different. And you start to get a little closer to it. And you can hear the whispers of the guides that want you to be successful. Then all of a sudden, those ideas start coming to your head. You start taking action on those ideas, and the glass breaks a little more. And you can start hearing things a little clearer. And when that glass finally breaks, because you're finally shutting up and listening to the one thing that's been trying to tell you for years exactly what to do, success has finally found you. It's broken through, and you won't have to think anymore. You won't have to stress anymore, because you wake up in the morning and you just listen. And you don't have to struggle to figure out what to do. You just listen. And that's when success just starts to find. There's people out there that you're like, man, they effortlessly just go out and just absolutely crush life, because they don't have to put in effort. All the effort is done by something else that all they're doing is just listening to. All they're doing is just saying, okay, cool, what are my instructions for the day? Awesome, cool, I'll go do it. I'll go do it, and I'll go fail, and I'll be passionate about it. I'll love it no matter what, and I'm going to give absolute gratitude for everything that's going on in my life, that will happen and has already happened. So that's all I got. Hopefully you got some value out of this. Hopefully you can take something from this and create some actionable steps from it. And so hope you enjoyed it. I'm out of here. I will be going out, hanging out for a few minutes on the MLSP fan page at MLSPfanpage.com. So if you want to come hang out with me for a few minutes before I'm late to going into this event, because I know I will be, but it's all good. So hang out with us, fan page, and we'll check it out. All right, see you guys. Boom. All right, cool. Are we ready to go?
Nice, man. We go.
Great job.
Awesome. Thanks. Woo.
Seriously.
Ew, right?
It's
Yeah.
all from the heart.
Right? Just pull that out of
People just like speak from the heart.
pull that out of the butt. All right, so yes, parts.
I love that you used what you learned yesterday at the event.
Right? Hey, content is I don't have to think. You know, appreciate that, Christian. All right. So, hey guys, if you enjoyed that, feel free to share it. You know, very generic message, even though I did throw some MLSP stuff in there. If you shared, let me know that you shared in the comment section. We are about to run to this event. If you want to join our free Facebook community, Intentional Lifestyle Creators, look it up in the search bar. Feel free to join our free Facebook community and have some fun with that. All right. So I'm gonna hop off here. I'm gonna go live real quick on this fan page, and then we're gonna go to this event. All right. Have an amazing day. See you guys.